Good morning. It is Saturday, March 14th, 2020, and this is our very first um, live movement session in Nowhere Village. And so this is going to be an experiment. Thanks to the three people that have joined me live, and I told people they could pop in at any point. So maybe we'll have a few more people join live. But thanks so much for those of you who are here live, and those of you who are catching it via the video. Welcome. Um, like anything new, it's a little bit of an experiment. I'm going to see how this all works. And always, always, always here in Nowhere Village, welcome feedback. I look at every single offering I make as really a collaboration with all of you. So here we go. This morning, the format is going to be, we're going to do a few minute long meditation now. Then I'm going to give a little talk, and then I'm going to go back there where you can see my full form, and we're going to go through a movement sequence together that all told will last about an hour. After that, I will be doing some chanting for about 10 minutes. And John Samuel, who's on the line live, has been requesting chanting in Nowhere Village for months now, and so we're finally making good on that. After that, around 11 a.m., there will be opportunity for community discussion if that's something that people want, because my intention is to make a lot more offerings, especially in these coming weeks, as a lot of people are at home and looking for ways to connect and ground and to bring a little structure into their lives when they can't leave home. So that's us today. And like I said, you can come and go as you need. You're on your side, muted, and no video. So anybody who's here live, you're welcome to come and go, to pop in and out of today's schedule. And then in the end, let me know how this format works. So let's settle in for just a brief seated meditation. Arrive and breathe. Give yourself permission to come home to this moment. When we're experiencing uncertainty, disruption, confusion, becoming fully present can feel actually scary. We can have resistance to coming home to our own bodies. And that's okay. All of these practices are here to support us, but it begins really simply with the intention to arrive and breathe. The breath itself will begin to teach us how to return to the present. Follow the inhale as it expands, as it fills you, as it nourishes. Feel the exhale as it contracts, empties, and cleanses, preparing you for the cycle to begin again. As you do this, let yourself settle into embodiment. And slowly, bit by bit, that resistance to being present in the body, in the moment, will begin to dissolve. And with that resistance will dissolve fear, and the blockages to appreciating life in its beauty, interconnectedness, and care. As we move through the rest of our time together, this very simple technique will be one we return to again and again, to arrive and breathe and feel yourself in a body in the now. And when we really master this simple technique, it's not so much trying as just releasing and surrendering. And then, lo and behold, the embodiment in the now is all there was anyway. It was already here. So, I'm just going to speak for a couple of minutes here before we get moving. Um, my my spiritual practice, I have realized, is really comes back to, um, if I could just kind of say it in a line, reconnecting with nature. I was thinking, the other day, I was writing about my teachers and my sources, returning to one's teachers and sources of wisdom and love, sources of beauty. This is something that I practice when things get challenging. And so I found myself wanting to really, kind of gather my sources. And I realized that I really have right now like four main deep influences. And those of you who are live on the line know these influences because I talk about them a lot. Um, Patanjali, who wrote the Yoga Sutras, and he says right at the beginning, yoga is the experience of standing in our own true nature, of residing. Kind of the word that he uses means sort of like to plant oneself in one's own nature. Um, Roughly contemporaneous with Patanjali in China, there was the teachings of Lao Tzu. And really, the teachings of Patanjali and the teachings of Lao Tzu didn't like come about then. They actually are lineages that already existed, but this is actually the beginning of things being written down, right? So they happen to be these books that I get to have. So the Yoga Sutras is Patanjali's book, but the Tao Te Ching is Lao Tzu's book. And again, it's this just ancient wisdom kind of trapped in a book that has been really meaningful for me. And his premise also is that nature is the source. Nature, who he calls the great mother, who we'll chant to at the end today. And from the great mother come all things. And he talks a lot about how we don't always understand. Our job is not to always understand what Mother Nature is offering to us. Our job is to remember that it is the guru. And then two other influences that are more modern, Nisargadatta, a teacher I love so much. His name, Nisarga, actually means natural. Or the word Nisarga means natural. And Datta, I think, means something like giver of nature, I think. I can look that up, but I do know Nisarga means natural. And there's something called Nisarga yoga, which means natural yoga. And then Adyashanti is my one of them who's living. And Adya means primordial. And so I was putting all these pieces together and seeing that all of them have these teachings about reconnecting to the source, reconnecting to nature. And this has been my practice for the last couple of days, is reconnecting to nature in any way that I can, just the way that we just meditated, sitting with the breath, spending time recognizing the beauty all around us, hearing the birds. Spring is on its way. And all of these teachers and teachings say, what gets in the way of us connecting with nature? Culture, stories, ideas. And it's not that we don't need those things, but we do need a break from living in that so that we can reconnect to what is primal, original, underneath, and source. And so everything that we're doing here in Nowhere Village is hopefully reconnecting us with the aspects of the self that are here. They're always here, just like nature is always here, but so often we're focused in a way that we can't connect. We can't see it. We can't be with it. So with that being said, we're going to start to move now. And I'm really, really grateful that we're starting to bring in these more embodied practices. I know that for the last several months, we've been focusing on meditation in Nowhere Village mostly, and talks. And as we bring it into embodiment, we're taking all of that with us, right? We are meditating in our bodies as we move, as we're in the poses. And that's where it starts to become really transformational, I believe. Oh, beautiful. We've got a few more friends here. Hi, guys. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Okay. So I want to make sure everyone's muted, okay? Keep yourself on mute. Yeah? Thanks. Okay, great. So I'm going to do a little set transition. It shouldn't take more than a second, but I'm just going to rearrange some things and end up back there. So you can also set up, if you have a blanket block and a strap, great. If you don't, we'll figure it out. Today's class will not be super complicated. For those of you who came on a little late, this class, all told movement-wise, will last about an hour. Then you can hang out for some chanting or a transition or go get a cup of tea or something. 11 a.m. we'll do a little community discussion because I would love some inspiration as I want to come up with a nice, robust schedule for you guys this coming week. Okay, so that's what's coming up. So I'm gonna stop this recording.